Bluff City Media presents the No Bluffing Podcast. Stepping up to the microphone are your hosts, Christian Ingram and Evan Hayes. Now, let's get to the show.
Nation, what's going on? Hey, Chris Ingram.
It's already started off crazy, and I am Evan Hayes.
And this is the No Bluffing Podcast, where we keep it all the way real, all the way raw, and all the way honest about everything Grizzlies. Welcome back to another episode, a special late night edition on this good Sunday. If y'all on YouTube, y'all are actually catching this live. Or maybe not live, I guess I should say Monday at our normal 6:30 time. But we did go live on X tonight on Sunday because we got a couple of things to line up and knock out tomorrow. So I wanted to make sure y'all still got this content on this good Monday / Sunday for those catching it on X. If y'all are tapped in, appreciate you. Make sure you let us know in the comments, man. You know, what you got going on this good Sunday night or this Monday night when you catch this on YouTube. So we're going to jump right into the topics today. But before we do, Evan, my boy, what's going on? Give me some good news. How was your week, my boy?
It was another week. I'm still just really chilling. You know, classes just got started. Only had one day of classes last week. You know, grad schools look different. So, just going through classes, just working out before practice officially starts next week. So this is like my last week of like chilling before I guess normalcy before like everything gets crazy with me traveling with the football team and practices and class really gets into full swing and all that. So I'm enjoying but not enjoying the downtime.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that I'm, always a busybody, always doing something. So like now
Sit
I'm
your
kind of
head
being
down, bro.
yeah, exactly. Now I'm being forced to not do something. So like my body's enjoying it, but also my mind is like hating it. Like my mom and my dad, they're like, bro, if we see you at our house, you need to tell your ass go back around. Just do not come home. Like they said, yo,
Get out of here,
do
bro.
not stay your ass at college and just chill. They literally said, we better not see you for another month. Like they told me that. They was like, we love you, we want to see you. Don't be coming to Memphis, Tennessee. Don't come to our address. Do not.
Get up out of here, man.
So, they're by my parents' decree, they told me to not come home when I could have, so I could force myself to chill. So that's really all it's gonna be, man. So next week I will have a more interesting report after, I'll be in the SEC Stadium in Fayetteville, Arkansas this time next week. So that'll be pretty cool. So I'll relate how it was being my first SEC football game. So, other than that, man, it's all good over here, man. How's it going on in your neck of the woods?
Man, some crazy little stuff popped off today. I told you before we hopped on, but I'll share it with the listeners, man. Hopefully I help a parent out there at least.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
My daughter, we were going for our little, family bike ride / walk / exercise. It was probably, man, about 10 days ago at this point now. And she don't listen. She don't listen anyway. Love her to death. She don't listen. And she was going fast. Something happened with the bike. She ended up falling. All right, cool. It's gonna happen. And so she said that her side of her face was hurting, or her ear. She was holding on this side, and it was hurting. So obviously, Dad does a check, make sure at least in my mind, she's good. I don't see any blood. I don't see any bruises. I don't see any scratches. Don't think nothing else about it. She had a helmet on, so I'm like, all right, cool. She wakes up this morning. Now, mind you, this was like 10 days ago. She wakes up this morning talking about, Dad, my ears hurt when I talk. And I'm like, huh? What are you talking about? And she said it again. And she said it again. Now, granted, she's still jumping off her bed. She's still running around the house. Still not listening. Still her normal self. And but we know that she kind of had a history of ear infection. She had some procedures done to prevent that, which has been really working.
That's good.
And so my wife was like, well, let's just go and take her to the ER anyway, just to make sure it's not that. We can go ahead and get the antibiotics and move on about our life. Take her to the ER, bro, and she got a full-blown ruptured eardrum, and I'm like, how did that happen? What did that? Like, what was going on? And so my wife can't figure out what's going on. The doctor can't figure out what's going on. And it hit me. I said, boom. That's what it was. When you start talking about blood and pus and all that stuff that's sitting back there, I said, that's what it was. Something happened then. But the way that my daughter is, bro, like, he just waits till literally the last moment, the biggest moment when something is super duper bothering her to say something. Apparently, she should have been in the doctor a week ago, and she just never felt nothing, and it was not throwing her off. And even today, it really didn't throw her off. But man, like she's something else, bro. So anyway, been kind of trying to nurse her back to health. It seemed like once we took her to the doctor, she kind of it's like, oh, I'm feeling it a little bit. So obviously she wanted to stretch that out. She got to go to school tomorrow, so she probably don't want to go. Ain't no telling. But we definitely gave her some extra.
You still gonna make you still gonna make her go to school tomorrow? She still gotta go to school tomorrow, dude.
If she wake up jumping off top of that bed, she going. Now if she wake up and she just kind of chilling, you know, like on a little, you know, chill vibe, then I can tell something bothering her. But she enjoys school. She enjoys interacting. She enjoys playing, learning, and all that stuff. So probably gonna leave it up to her. It's not nothing that's contagious, but you know, obviously we don't want her to be this, you know, any discomfort or being pain. So we'll see how she feel in the morning. If she ain't the same Elena, then she'll be at the house with us while we working tomorrow. So it is what it is, man. So very eventful 24 hours for me, to say the least. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it for me. Like I said, it's a special late night edition that we record this on X, so we ain't gonna be on here too long. I know you got school in the morning, I got work in the morning, as late as it is. So these topics that we're gonna jump through, I feel like, you know, we still got a good show lined up and planned for y'all tonight. We're gonna talk about some quick Jaren Jackson updates we got with him. We're also gonna talk about the craze of the shoe community, at least in the NBA or the basketball community, between the JA3 release and the Anthony Edwards 2 release. And we're gonna end the news on just a kind of a recap of the situation. Y'all probably done heard it on every Grizzlies show over the last week. We didn't get a really chance to talk about it last week, give our thoughts on it. But basically, this whole Grizzlies and the city of Memphis situation, we'll touch on that, and then we're gonna end on Year 2 Zach Edey. We know he's gonna be injured, you know, for the first part of the season, but just looking at basically what he needs to define a leap in his second season or flop in his second season. So we're gonna discuss that at the end of the show. But we're gonna jump right into the No Bluffin news, man. So y'all go ahead, get your popcorn, turn your headphones up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna get it popping just like that, how we always do it this time. And number one, like I said, we're gonna talk about Jaren Jackson Jr., who on, I want to say that was Friday night or Friday. What is Saturday? I don't know at this point. I'm losing all my days is messed up. Over the weekend, Jaren Jackson Jr. posted on his Instagram that he was what looked like in the Grizzlies facility with no boot on. He had no boot on his foot. He had about 3 different pair of shoes laid out in front of him. And when I say pair, I'm talking 2, left and right. And so looks like he is back in the gym of some sort, doing some type of rehabilitation. I highly doubt Jaren is dribbling a basketball, working on moves and things like that. I highly doubt that. Just in regards to him being out of that and moving forward back to basketball play, how do you feel about just kind of getting that semi-update on Jaren Jackson over the weekend, my boy?
Yeah, it's favorable to see, favorable to hear, see, and all that. You know, obviously, Jaren Jackson Jr. with 2 shoes on is better than 1 shoe. So obviously, we have about 50-some games, 50-some days to open the night. So hopefully he can just slowly ramp back up, you know, with 1-on-0 work, then maybe 1-on-1 work, 2-on-2, then full contact work. So hopefully him and the Grizzlies staff slowly matriculate himself, because obviously we would love him to be ready for game 1, but it's more important that he's ready for game 82, you know what I mean, for the playoffs and all that. So good to hear about Triple J. You know, number 8. We got to find a new name for him now because he's number 8. Like, of course, Trip is still cool, but what the Grizz actually gonna call him? Because 8 just seemed kind of nasty to me. Like 13 kind of fit him because with the job 12 and 13, but 8 just, I don't know. I'm gonna get used to it, but it's just something in my mind ain't computing that right now. My ADHD not clocking that right now. But anyway, you know, shout out Trip. I'm glad you're looking healthy, man. Just please don't get hurt again. Just, well, if you want to be in bubble wrap the whole rest of the offseason, do that. Even you only got to show up you only got to do nothing in training camp if you don't want to, bro. Just get healthy, get both of your feet together. No more turf toe injuries and no ankles, nothing like that. And be ready to return to All-Star / All-NBA play. Because that's all we want to see out of Jaren Jackson Jr. A healthy Jaren Jackson Jr. means an All-Star, All-NBA caliber player. So if we continue to do that, we'll be fine. So shout out Triple J. Continue to get healthy, my brother.
Yep. Like you said, I don't got too much on it. Slow roll your way back. Don't rush it. As a guy that has had a couple of injuries myself that I've rushed back from, I'm never going to advocate that somebody, you know, rushes back. It's pointless because if you get hurt again, then my friend, it's over with for you. Exactly. I actually had the same meniscus injury that Jerry had a couple of years ago. And immediately when I found out he had it, I ain't know the direct line of Jerry, but in my head, I just put it out into the universe. I'm like, bro, please get the surgery. Please do not go the route of, repair it. Both of them are, there's 2 different procedures. You can either get shaved or you can get it repaired. Me personally, I got mine shaved because they told me it was a quicker return to play. Should never done that because even when I returned to play, it never was fully healed until I took a full year off. And even still to this day, I can tell you when it's gonna rain before it rains. Like I don't got arthritis, but boy, do it feel like it. So, yeah, I was just glad that he got his repaired. Took a little extra time away from the court, but yeah, he handled these situations well. I don't have no doubt in my mind that Jaren will be, if not ready exactly at the start of the season, I don't think he's gonna miss much time at all. So man, salute to Jaren. Get better, my boy. We're ready to see you out on the court.
Real talk.
Moving on to the next topic. We got 2, I don't want to say announced because one is released and I think one is about to be released. But 2 of what people go back and forth with as far as faces of the league. We got the JA3, the actual one that was first, I guess, released to the public over this last weekend. The job. This is weird to me, bro. Did you catch this? They were promoting the JA3 at first, this colorway that we about to show. They were promoting it as the max volume for like months. And then like a week or 2 before it dropped, they changed the name to price of admission. So now everybody confused on what to call the damn shoe. I don't get that, bro. Let me go ahead and pop up the one that just released. This is the JA3. What you calling it, first of all? Which one you calling?
I'm calling it. I'm calling it price of admission. Price of admission kind of, I don't know, it kind of, because everybody calls his job box office, so I think price of admission kind of fits him better. I think that's a code name than max volume. You know, I don't really get where max volume, like, you know, like attributes to this. I didn't get it. And as someone that used to be like a really big basketball shoe, like sneakerhead, you know, I think price of admission fits Ja, you know, so that's what I'm calling, you know, and hopefully this is on my short list of Ja Morant shoes I'm copping because I want another pair of JA3s. I want a pair of Ja. I need to get my first pair, so I'm calling price of admission because these just are beautiful. Beautiful, if I can say myself.
I definitely rock with them. And when they first got shown, I was like, bro, what the hell is this? And I literally, once I got more renderings, like true to design of the shoe, like these right here, I'm like, oh, okay, that's a special shoe that he got right there. So that one did release. I believe a lot more people were able to get these than the other 2 that were kind of low-key, like exclusive releases in different forms of fashion. Whether it was an Apple, you had to be in a certain location to get the shoe. I believe this was a nationwide release. And so this one released. And then you got the Anthony Edwards 2, which felt like took like 3 years almost. It felt like he's been on the Edwards 1 forever. But he's actually on I want to say he's on a China tour or he's somewhere overseas promoting his new shoe. And so I wanted to share both of these, man, because it might be controversial in at least Grizzland. Y'all know how we get over here. in the Grizz verse about certain things. But I want to
start,
just
Chris.
go.
It's already late.
Hey,
It's already late, Chris. Don't start now, bro.
Hey, man. Who got the hardest shoe, man? Who got the hardest shoe, in your opinion? I'm gonna save my for last. Who between the two? Who you got, man?
I got Demetrius Jamel Morant, obviously, because like he has a better shoe. And this come from the same. Remember we argued. I didn't think the Ant one was that hard. Like I thought the Ant was cool, but people thought it was like one of the best like silhouettes from like of recent memory. And I was like, yo, it looks kind of like a better version of the Kobe Adidas one, in my opinion, or one of those shoes. Like I didn't think it was all that. You know, I think people are saying Ja Morant, this is the best JA3 people are talking about, and I would have to agree with them. They saying on the court. People like I watch like shoe reviews, like how it performs on the court, like how good of a basketball shoe it is, and people on the court saying it fits good. People saying it looks good, comfortability. You can wear it with fits and all that. Like this is in my opinion, this is one of the best basketball shoes out in the market. We've seen probably in the last 5-10 years. Like I really think Ja is getting that Kyrie model type of like brand where like everyone in his shoes is hits. And everyone likes them, and you can wear them on the court and off the court. Because I remember me rocking Kyrie's in middle school. Because I remember me and my friends rocking Kyrie's in middle school casually. Because like them jokes was hard to us. So I feel like Ja's having the same effect on the kids now.
That sounds so funny here. You say in middle school, bro. I was in college at the freaking rec gym.
Wearing Kyrie's, yeah. Man, 10 years alone. You don't feel like a long time, but 10 years actually a long time to think about like schools and all that. But yeah, I think the AE2 looks decent, but I'm still taking Ja. Like in my opinion, it's the best looking model that Ja's had. Like I like the twos, I like the ones. I have pairs of the 2-in-1s, but in my opinion, it's the best Ja model yet today, and I can't wait for more colorways to drop. And shout out Ja for getting on the Slam magazine cover. We didn't talk about that. He was on a recent Slam magazine cover. Shout out to Slam at that because Slam has been even through all his like controversy. Slam has always been rocking with Ja, so you have to shout out Slam on that for giving him his own cover. So yeah, I'm taking a Ja. I got a feeling where you about to go. You finna say some blasphemous on my television, not on my television, on my computer. So get it out the way real quick. So you can go on and get your stuff off.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I think I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I think I'm gonna rock with the AE. And I said this last year too. You're right. We talked about the AE1, and I think we kind of were the same impasse at that point. For me, the AE1, the reason why I love that shoe so much, number one, I love how it looks. But to me, one of my favorite, I'm going to say probably top 2 Jordans of all time is the Playoff 12, the black with the white. Like, I love that shoe, bro. Like, when my pair that I have mess up, I go buy another one because I got to have that in my closet. I have to. And so when the AE1 came out, I'm like, damn, that black and white colorway looks just like it. Now, granted, it's got a little bit different design, like a little bit, but the silhouette, for the most part, if you just glance, it looks like a Playoff 12. And so I love those a little bit better than the JA2 for the simple fact that when I'm looking at a shoe, I guess it's for 2 different reasons. If I'm looking at strictly for hooping, I would have to probably put these on, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would have to put these on and feel them because one thing that I know that they talked about with this JA3 is this technology that's in the middle. I don't know, y'all probably can't see my mouse.
It's like Zoom X or something like that. Zoom X, yeah.
This is the first time that his shoe has had this material in there, and it's supposed to be, more reminiscent of the old like general basketball shoes that give you a bounce. The comfortability, protecting Ja with his landing, which he needs more than anything, as we know, being a high flyer. So stuff like that makes sense for me. But if we're talking about a shoe that I can wear with my clothes, now granted, this ain't my picture, and I don't wear my cuffs this damn big. I don't really wear cuffs at all. But I try to keep my pants, exactly my size. But the AE1s, I feel like you can style and wear them joints with clothes way more than the JA2s. And I'm gonna say the same thing for me personally with these AE3s, bro. Like I could get a fit off much easier, in my opinion, going anywhere with these AE2s than I could the JA3. And it's not even just this colorway, because I've seen the black ones they released in New York. I've seen the gray ones. I think they released after with like the spray material on it. Them cool to hoop in, probably to wear some hooping shoes, some Nike Tech, something like that. But I done seen dudes try to freak them with fits, bro, and they, like, I guess you would say, like, around the top where the shoelace and the tongue is, they be trying to have the shoestrings loosened. It don't be looking right, bro. Like, so I'm like, that's just me. I can't freak these like I can freak these, pause, with an outfit. So that, in my opinion, that is why I rock with the AEs a little bit more than my boy JA3s. But that's not to say that it ain't a cold shoe, because just like I said, looking at this shoe, bro, Nike did that thing. And I got really no complaints. I'm glad for the first time, in my opinion, this feels like a signature Ja shoe. Them first two, to me, they were just kind of throwing something to get them out the way. They look better than the Devin Bookers, in my opinion, but they were never, to me, like a real signature shoe. This is the first one I can look at and say, okay, here we go. This really looks like a signature. This is going to be, in my opinion, hey, Ja done had 20 years of a career. This is going to be the first one that, like, really, and it sounds crazy me saying that, because the first two shoes sold out every time they got released, but, like, this just looks different. Yeah. This is going to be more memorable, I think.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. Like, I think the AE2 looks like a more lifestyle shoe that you can play basketball in.
There you go. I think that's the word.
Ja Morant shoe look like a basketball shoe you can rock casually. You see what I'm saying? So
I can rock
it kind of ends up to like what type of aesthetic you're trying to go with. Like, I personally like I don't do it as much now, obviously, but I kind of like the basketball shoe that you can rock the court look. You know, that's just I'm a more sporty, like, athletic wear type of dude. You know, I'm not gonna be wearing a lot of big jeans. You know, that's just not my style. You know, like, I'm wearing Techs.
Around campus with trike specs on, bro. Bro, wearing trike specs to class. I'm just playing.
Nah, that's funny. I've seen some people like in middle school and high school do that. But anyway, like, I'm wearing like my trainers, like I wish I can actually. I'm not gonna do that right now. I'm not gonna show y'all my closet. But like my top shoe in my closet right now is like Vapor Maxes. Like, those, I just bought those like a few months ago, and those like the most comfortable shoes. You know, that's just like some real kid. Like, everything I wear is like super casual. You feel me? Super casual or sporty. On the job, for me personally, is more in that type of realm. That AE, like, it's just not for me. I'll probably like look at it. I'm not saying it's a bad looking shoe, but just for my personal, what I like to wear on my everyday, you know, it's not what I would normally do. But the Ja, that's just me though. But I see what you're saying. It's definitely strong. And also with Ja's, like, that mid, it's not a high or low, but mid cut shoes are kind of weird to style as well. You know, if they're low cut, you know, you can wear it with like the little ankle size, and of course high top shoes. People are wearing high top shoes forever. But being that it's a mid, it's kind of interesting how you can try to style it. So some people may not be able to pull out kind of the mid because it fits on your foot and your ankle a little bit different. So that's another thing to keep in mind for people that want to cop. You know, it's a mid, so that's why it may be a little different to fit as well, because just the fit of it, overall fit and length of it is a little different.
Yeah, it is. If you got fat feet, like probably 80% of us out here, or wide feet,
yeah,
that Ja ain't gonna probably be as comfortable as the AE, just because I know they use a lot of that. And my boy Toon, he had to correct me on this. I know it's not specifically Yeezy technology they put in a lot of these Adidas shoes, but they are definitely taking derivatives from that and putting them into these Adidas hooping shoes for sure. So they definitely feel a lot more comfortable all day wearing than the Jaws. I can definitely attest to that. But man, yeah, y'all let us know in the comments which ones y'all rocking with, or if you rocking with both. I rock with both. It's just if I gotta pick one, I ain't gonna lie, I gotta go with the AEs. Hopefully future Grizzly Anthony Edwards.
Oh wow.
We'll see. Probably will never happen
right now. Probably will never happen. Never happen. You know.
Maybe his baby mama turns to his wife one day and she talks him into coming to this. We'll see. I don't know.
Come back home, and you from Georgia. You from Georgia, so you're not that far from home. Memphis to Atlanta, not too far. You know, it's closer than you are in Minnesota, so like your fan could just want to take one little flight down. You know, see you play some more. Your kids that are coming or already been born, they can come see you more. You know, like hey,
no, you got a bunch of them.
Yeah, you got a bunch of them, but you know, you get one private jet from Atlanta to Memphis. It's like an hour, 2 hour flight. You know. No connecting, so like think about it.
Trifling, they gonna put them on the train. He ain't put them on no plane. They gonna make them catch
a train is crazy. One time in there, months make $500 million a year. Put the people on the train. Now that's crazy. That's actually crazy.
Hey man, I've been looking at them trains. Them new trains is kind of tough, dog. Them just like hotels on wheels now. Have you seen that?
Nah, I don't
man. These new trains, bro, I'm talking about they will serve you food. I'm talking about top shelf type food. You have like literally small rooms where like you can put your stuff, lay up comfortably in like your own blocked off space. They got common areas where you can come and chill. And it's not expensive either. Like I got 2 young ones, so I doubt we do this anytime soon. But if me and my wife want to do like just some getaway stuff, bro, I ain't gonna hold you. Like I don't look bad. I just seen stuff on it. I was like, what? The train?
That's about to ask you. Like, as a father of 2 kids, are you putting your folk on a train or a plane? I think that if it depends on your answer. That's your answer question. Which one is probably the better sense of transportation?
I mean, if I'm Anthony Edwards and the way he be acting goofy, I wouldn't be surprised if he put the train on him. But hey, I put him on the mega bus if they're still around. Ain't no telling, bro.
Put on the Greyhound. Put him on the Greyhound bus.
Oh, don't do the Greyhound. Don't do the Greyhound.
Nah, that's crazy.
I did the Greyhound one time in my life, bro. I'll never do that shit again. Never. Lord willing, I'd never have to do that again. Oh my God. I don't even know where I went.
You want to take the Greyhound one time?
One time.
You want to take the Greyhound bus one time?
One time, bro.
See, that's one thing we got flipped. You're 10 years older than me, and I've taken a Greyhound probably like 3, 4, 5 times. Like on some real talk. I've taken a Greyhound a few times.
No, I can't even remember where the hell I went, bro. I'm about to figure this out, but I went somewhere. I was like, no, this is too hot.
I took Greyhound to Chicago, bro.
Oh damn. From Memphis?
I took Greyhound to Chicago, bro. From Memphis to Chicago, bro.
But that's a 9-hour drive if you flying on the highway. You on the bus and you gotta stop. Man, hell no. Man, I'd be sad as hell.
It was for a funeral. I was like,
oh damn, that's extra sad.
Maybe like 9, bro. I was like 9, bro. I had some family in Chicago, bro. It was me, my mom, and my grandma, bro. Bro, that was the longest bus ride of my day.
Oh, this shit gets worse and worse.
Imagine Elena like 4 years older than she is now. Imagine Elena like in 5 years on a bus from Memphis to Chicago.
Oh my Lord,
that was me,
bro.
That was me.
Awful.
Imagine your daughter in 5 years going from Memphis on a Greyhound bus.
Bro, going to a funeral, you already sad as hell, and you gotta be all around all them funky ass people, hot, stinking. Gotta stop here 2 hours, like, no, bro. That's what it was. I bought a car. Fun. I was picking up a car, bro, and I think the flights was too expensive. I was like, nah, they want to do it, and I bit the bullet and the damn Greyhound to pick up a car. I'd never do that shit again, bro. No.
Never do that shit again.
No.
Where was you going though? What part? Where were you going?
I think it was number 3 hours, bro. I can't remember exactly, but I think it was like a 3-hour drive, and we stopped like twice. I'm like, man, hell no, I'm never doing this, bro. No.
You dropped like twice.
I
never do that shit again.
Nope.
That's
not
funny.
Doing that.
That's funny.
But yeah, man. Y'all let us know in the comments how y'all feel about the JA3 and the AE2 debate. We're gonna end on this one before we go to commercial and talk about Zach Edey, and then we're gonna get up out of here. But again, for those that are under a rock or have been rock, you don't really know what's been going on. It was an update in the Grizzlies and the Memphis City don't even know what department to call them, but the city of Memphis basically working with the Grizzlies to come up with a new deal to where they would have a new lease with FedEx Forum in the city, where they would be renewed for umpteen amounts of time. Basically, they will be here for the foreseeable future. And Mayor Young came out a couple weeks ago and said, unfortunately, he felt like the deal wasn't going to get this year he wanted to. Some details got released by Sam Hardiman of I believe the Daily Memphian last week. And it had everybody in an uproar on social media. I'm still kind of on a hiatus. I reactivated my account just to have it, but I really haven't been on there. But that day I got on and saw a whirlwind that, good friend of the network, good friend, good guy. I got y'all hate the man for what he said last week. But Gary Parrish, he went on, a semi-rant, I guess, if you will, about the situation. And I think a lot of the information that was actually talked about in that article got really left out of the conversation. We were so focused on what GP said that we weren't really talking about what really happened. Did you get a chance to read the article, Evan? By chance? I know you saw probably the backlash, but did you get to see what they actually said?
I didn't read the exact article because honestly, it kind of turned me off. Like, this is a bad journalism thing in me for not reading the full research. But when I saw folks going at GP about what he said, it kind of just turned me off in the situation. I'm like, bro, like, y'all of course, GP's a Caucasian man on a big platform, so people saw the image of that and kind of ran with it and wasn't really listening to the context of what he said and what was said originally. So that kind of turned me off kind of the whole thing because it just kind of felt like displaced anger, in my opinion, just like displaced energy. So I didn't get as much, but just my overall thoughts on like the whole situation. Like, I get why people were mad at GP, and I'm not just saying it because GP's a good friend of mine and he's a mentor.
Yeah, you are
to me.
Tell the truth, shame the devil, man. Yeah, you are.
But he wasn't saying anything like overtly incorrect. It probably didn't sound good to a lot of people, but I don't think he spit any false information, when it came to the city and like the image that the city has to the.
Let me tell you what the article said. That way you can kind of, because this is the problem. Folks went off. We had a conversation about Gary Parrish for a week. And like I said, I didn't really see or hear anybody talking about what the article said. So I'm going to actually tell you, I listened to Sam Hardiman actually talk through his whole situation. And I took some notes so that way I can kind of better relay without having to go piece by piece of the article. So basically what the situation is that the lease is up is 2029. They're trying to come to an agreement. So obviously the Grizzlies can stay in the city. They're working to secure new lease agreements long-term with certain provisions, and that the provisions in that is what's causing the hang-up between two sides. Now, it should be something that can be easily worked out because the city of Memphis don't want to lose the Grizzlies. Like, if you lose them, you're never getting a franchise again. You can just go and cancel that. That's never happening. And then also, and this is one thing that GP did point out, the Grizzlies want to stay in Memphis. They're just saying, I want to be with you, baby, but I need you just to gym a little more. I need you to start looking for a little bit more. I need to wash your ass and brush your teeth a little more. Like, that's all really they saying. They need a couple of things upgraded or taken care of. And so with that, they are already working with an architectural company called Populous. They're currently working up drafts for the stadium renovation. So all that's already in the works. It's just we got to get the approval of the lease. And so the big thing for the Grizzlies, the reason why this deal is at an impasse right now is the Grizzlies want the city to commit to basically cleaning up downtown, and not literally, well, probably literally too, but not just cleaning up like with some landscaping or, picking up trash. They want the area to be more presentable. And I think when Gary went off and said what he said, more people were taking it as like, the crime and the homeless people and all that shit, bro. Any downtown you go to, anywhere literally, it's homeless folks. Like, that's just probably even more than Memphis. Like, just keeping it a bean. So that's not really the issue. We talked about the whole crime data thing. Great that the crime data shows one thing, but like, that's not what Memphis is trying to tell. That's not what the Grizzlies is trying to tell the city. They want downtown and specifically around the FedEx Forum to look more presentable. And so what's happening at this point, they want to stretch out what will be, I think it's $550 million. They want to split that over 10 years. But then the city's pushed back and saying basically, well, you want to stretch it out 10 years, but you still may have a potential provision to leave if we sign a new lease. And us agreeing to a 10-year renovation deal and you haven't signed the lease, what does that look like? So I see some of these from both. It makes sense, but it makes the most sense for for both sides to want to get the deal done. So just kind of really touching real quick, and I'll let you kind of go on. I want to at least get that information for the people that didn't read it, and then like I said, I wanted to make sure you had some information as well. At the end of the day, bro, people got mad at GP about the perception comment that he made about downtown and him not caring about the numbers. Let me just say this, because I didn't hear no talking head really, I guess, articulate this or say this. Perception matters. We know that. But it really matters in this case because if you clean, like we know Memphis got a lot of problems when it comes to crime, education, the economical disparity. Bro, we have a long laundry list, CES receipt list of problems that we got to fix. We can't fix them all at one time. We got potholes in the road. We got all kind of shit going on in Memphis. But what you can do, if this is the thing that's on the table that needs to get done to prevent our sports franchise from leaving, we probably need to get this done first. And I say that to say, like, if you're talking about cleaning up downtown, one of the biggest draws for any city, you even got countries that are probably poor countries, but they have very high tourism areas. They depend on that tourism to bring that country income. If Memphis has the opportunity right now to build up that downtown area to hopefully, Lord willing, increase our tourism, guess what that does for the city? That's economic impact that we can bring into our city. Nobody should be mad at that idea. It may not be verbalized the right way. We may not put it in a cupcake and it be sweet to taste and to hear, but we need something like that for the city to bring income. The other thing too, whether we want to agree to this a thing or not, the perception of downtown, the perception of the city does need a rebrand, a retool, an enhancement, whatever you want to say, for hopefully in the future when we do have these stadium renovations and all this stuff, that we can actually be able to catch free agents, bro. Like, that's been an issue for us. We don't get free agents, and probably part of that, you can say small market, bro. If downtown was popping, take the state part out. We get that. If you want to talk, whatever. I ain't even talking about that. If downtown was popping like Nashville downtown was popping, people would probably be lining up to go play with a Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson much sooner than they are right now. So you're talking about the team itself having implications that can help. You're talking about the city having implications that can help with the financial situation. Like, the perception matters, bro. And I don't care how much like this is. I stand GP on this one. Like, y'all can say whatever. I don't care. Listen to what I'm saying and not what I'm not saying. If the perception is what the perception is, all we can do is try to fix the perception, bro. That's all we can do as a unit. Now, who mouth it come out of and whatever, like I say what GP said. Take him out of it, take me and Evan out of it. The Grizzlies are telling the city of Memphis, if this is not fixed, we're not comfortable agreeing to a deal. So if that is where they leave it, what do you decide to do at that point? So that's really kind of all I got on it, bro. Like I said, I wanted to kind of put that out there because I don't know. I get it. It's a messenger versus message thing. I got that. I promise I do. But at the end of the day, it's so many implications to the situation that, bro. Now the team got to do their part too. We got to put a winning product on the court. People come to pay some bullshit. But everybody got to come together and do their part, bro. So anyway, my bad. I really didn't mean to go on that rant, but I did want to make sure that everything was covered that we talked about on that. So my bad. I'm shutting up, my guy.
You good, bro. It's just, I kind of see the situation just everybody getting out their own way. Like you said, the city wants the Grizzlies to be here. The Grizzlies want to be here. The city's like, yo, should we agree to all these renovations? If y'all, it's an option for y'all to still leave it. Like, yo, we don't want to leave if y'all do these renovations around downtown. Like, it's just getting out your own way. So it's really, in my eyes, just kind of put up a shut up time. Like, both of y'all want the same thing. And the city, like, Memphians want the Grizzlies to be here. So, like, it's just all about just putting your money where your mouth is. And clearly the Grizzlies want to make the money. Clearly the city has the money to do it. So just get out your own way. So like we get in these back and forth, like, oh, who's saying what and what they mean and yada, yada, yada. We got to have results and have tangible like conversation about how we do to fix these problems. Like you said, perception matters. Like literally last week. And because, you know, like, and I'm going to tell a very like 30, 45 second story. And it made me so angry, actually. Like part of me being on the track team or being on the athletic team here, we have to help like with the general move in, you know, with like the regular freshmen coming in, like we help with moving, right? So like, you know, me and some of my teammates were just helping this young lady move her stuff in. Her family asked where each one of you, was like 4 or 5, was like, where are each one of you from? And of course, one person said, you know, Atlanta. One person said yada yada yada. She got to me. I suppose, of course, I said to Memphis. She was like, oh, Memphis. I don't know. I was wrong with you, like that negative, that knee-jerk net record that I bet a lot of people that have watched this show that you've probably gotten and all that. Like, and this young lady was from like North Carolina or something. North Carolina doesn't have great crime either, but like, you know, that's just what the perception is. So if I'm getting that in Alabama or whatever part of Tennessee you're in or anybody, like that's what the national media is portraying about the city. So we want to tangibly change the narrative. We have to tangibly do things. Like you said, it's on the city's part, it's on the Grizzlies part, it's on the Grizzlies. It's a team part. Like it's a collective effort to make these changes we want to see. Because as a person that lives in Memphis for most of his life, I can say all day, like, I love Memphis, I've never been scared, yada, yada, yada. But it doesn't matter if the people inside the city are saying it, if the overall national media is saying completely different.
Right.
So we gotta do internally and locally so the narrative can change nationally. And then a lot of these problems that we're seeing could be fixed slowly but surely if we could do our work together locally so the move nationally isn't as hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, that's all it is. And people's perception change when they get involved and ingrained in this stuff. We see it all the time. When guys come to the city, people that have moved, take basketball out of it, people that have moved to Memphis for work or for family, they say the same thing. I thought this about the city. I moved here, I lived there, and I love it.
D'Angelo Williams still come to Memphis all the time. He ain't nowhere near from Memphis. He ain't even play pro sports here. He went to college here. And D'Angelo Williams talked great about the city.
Yep.
Derrick Rose is from Chicago. He is from Chicago, Illinois. And he talks ad nauseum about how much he loves the city of Memphis. And he's moved his family here. His son went to school here. That's all I got to say. We can keep moving, but that's all I got to say, bro.
Yep. We work together to change the perception, bro. We all do. It ain't just the Grizzlies, it ain't the city. It ain't GP, it ain't Doc Holliday, it ain't Anthony Sane, it ain't us on this show. Like, it's all of us, bro. So hopefully this is done sooner than later, because I don't think it's gonna be we'll be fine. I'll just leave it at that. We'll be fine. We'll be good. That's all we got for the news. We're gonna go ahead and take a quick commercial break, pay some bills real quick. On the other side, we're gonna chop it up real quick about Zach Edey leaning into year 2, and we're gonna get up out of here, man. Appreciate y'all tonight that's tapped in with us on X. Y'all make sure y'all hop over tomorrow on YouTube. If you're not, give us a like, a comment there that you were in the show. But yeah, man, we're gonna jump to this commercial. We'll see y'all back in just a few minutes.
Looking for an alternative to alcohol or conventional medicine? Check out Ounce of Hope, a Memphis-based dispensary with 2 local stores in the Sanderlin Center and on South Cooper Street. You can get all the products you need in a location convenient to you. Each store offers an intentional shopping experience with dedicated bud tenders to answer all of your questions, from product selection and mushroom blends to our personal favorite, the Delta 9 seltzers. You gotta try the Peach Buzz. Try Ounce of Hope at either one of their 2 Memphis stores or at www.ounceofhope.com for convenient products shipped right to your door. Use the promo code BluffCity for 15% off any order, excluding sale items. Cannot be used in conjunction with other promotions or discounts. One use per customer.
Well, that's a pretty good answer. The correct answer is the Grizzlies will be better if Ja plays 70 games. We can talk all we want about who's going to play where and who's going to get the minutes and Jalen's minutes and Coward's minutes and KCP, is he starting? Is he coming off the bench? And is Scotty the backup point guard? And Ty Jerome, what sort of role is he going to have? And can he be really big for us? And, you know, how's Brandon Clark? We can talk all of that stuff. What matters for this team's success is that John Morant's playing 70 games. Period.
Well, you know what? I can tell you this much. I want to argue with you, but I can't argue with you. The team is still built around him being great and available and Jaren being great and available.
Tune in to the Night Court Podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story.
Welcome back to the No Bluffin Podcast. We keep it all the way real, all the way raw, and all the way honest about everything. Grizzlies, I am Chris Ingram, and to my right is my right-hand man, Evan Hayes. We're going to end the show on this, man. We got Zach Edey going into year 2. And I'll be honest with you, I'm super excited to see what Zach is going to do. We got Taylor Jenkins, ugly ass up out of here, so we ain't got to worry about him nerfing our boy. Put him in the corner trying to shoot threes at 7'5". I don't understand it. But a big year for him coming into year 2. Obviously, he's not going to be starting the second season of his career. Game 1, he will be out for a certain amount of time. I don't know how much time he's going to miss. Some people have speculated it'll be after Christmas. Some people are saying All-Star break. I don't think, if I had to bet, I don't think it'll be that long. I definitely need to tap in with Rusty Whitten again to kind of see what he foresaw on that of Bluff City Media. But what I want to kind of go through with this one, Evan, is kind of seeing in his year 2, from your point of view, I didn't mean to rhyme right there, but you defining what a leap looks like for him or what a flop looks like for Zach Edey. I think it's going to be really hard for that guy to flop. He's just too skilled already and too big, pause. But if you kind of had to define the two, what would you look at for Zach Edey going in year 2?
I'm gonna start with flop first because I feel like that's the most least likely outcome. A flop Zach Edey year would be, of course, number one, if he can't stay on the court, obviously. He was pretty consistent last year, but it was just something about those foot and ankle injuries that just always was nagging him a lot. Then he got like hit in the face one game too. He had like a concussion one game too, which was kind of weird. Like he finished that game, but then he had a concussion next game. Like I remember that. Like he missed like 1 or 2 games of a concussion. That was kind of weird too. So of course, flop is obviously he can't stay on the court. That's number one. Zach Edey is too skilled and too talented, too pivotal for this team for him to play under 60 games during the year. If he plays plus 60 games, that's already dub in my book. Second thing of flop is we don't see growth on the things he wasn't so good at last year. Zach Edey, number one, his hands were bad. For some reason, he couldn't catch the ball last year. Like, terrible. I don't know what happened between the guards was giving him the basketball in college compared to Ja Morant and Scottie Pippen Jr. Like, I would imagine those guys are better passers than the passes he got to Purdue. But for some, maybe the guys Purdue knew how to get the right angle with Zach Edey and how to catch the ball. But he needs to know how to catch the ball. Like,
That's all
you
they
still
did.
see him catching the ball. Yeah, that's all they did. That was their whole offense was through Zach. So I don't know what the difference is. Maybe they use him from a Wilson to a Spalding. I don't freaking know. Or NCAA ball to a Wilson ball. I don't know. So now, if you still see that, if you still see him getting kind of caught up in the paint where he brings the ball down low and have people like tie him up, we can't have that. Like, it was too many times where Zach Edey was 7'5" and he brought the ball down to the 6'10" guy that's guarding him, and he got caught up trying to,
right,
fight through contact. When bro, just keep the ball up and dunk.
right.
So flop is we don't see growth in the things he was bad at last year. Like, he was a pretty good screen and roll guy. We need to see more of that. We need to see him catching the ball more. We need to see him finish through contact more. Because a few too many times I saw guards contesting Zach Edey's shot and him not just dunking on him. Like, it didn't happen often, but it did happen a little bit too much that I would like last year. We need to see a physically dominant Zach Edey. And we understand part of that was because Taylor Jenkins put on a sabotage job, kind of similar to what the Browns are doing to Shedeur Sanders right now, a sabotage job. That's what I feel like Taylor Jenkins did with him last year, because I feel like Taylor Jenkins didn't really want to. My theory is Taylor Jenkins didn't really want to draft him. That's just my theory. That's my little tenfold. But he's not here anymore, so it really doesesn't matter. That's just my.
He's still
That's
in
my
Memphis.
tenfold hat theory.
He ain't got no job yet. Where is he gonna go? Shit.
Yeah,
he's still eating
probably
cooking Canucks and shit in Cordova.
Yeah. Anyway, he had Whoop Chase Mall trying to find him a job. Nah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have said that. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, that's kind of jacked up. Anyway,
that man Foot
yeah.
Locker, ugly as hell.
JD working with me, man. Anyway, get out now. Get edge. But yeah, I just want to see growth, man. I want to see growth. And if he, in my opinion, if he's anywhere around the same stats or similar stats that he was last year, for reference, he averaged 9.3 points and around 8 rebounds a game last year. If he's not increasing those stats and he stays at those stats or below, that's a flop to me. Because I'm gonna flip to leap. In my head canon, I feel like Zach Edey, when healthy, is a consistent 13 and 10 guy and shooting 60% from the field. That's what I think. The offense is catered to more pick and roll style. We saw under Tomas Islo, his numbers went through the freak roof. I think 13 and 10 is very doable for a 7'5" guy that's as skilled as he is. He shouldn't be shooting any threes, and he needs to make his freaking free throws. If he can do all those things, continue to be a great defender like he was last year, probably get a little better laterally, just a little bit, because he got picked on a little bit. But hey, what can you expect for a guy that's 7'5"?
Yeah.
Get a little better laterally, 13 and 10, and make your free throws and not shoot any threes. I feel like that's a realistic leap for Zach Edey to make, going into year two. Realistically, not realistic, if I want to speak in hyperbole, I want him at 15 and 11. But that's like, if you're averaging 15, 11 in the NBA, like you're making like $25 million. Like, you're like a top 10, top 15 big. Like, not a lot of bigs are doing that. So I'm not finna, say he's gonna average 15, 11 next year. But that's just like what I see him like maybe year 3, 4, 5, But next year, I think 13 and 10 is very doable. So that's my leap. My flop is him not growing the mistakes he did last year, and my leap is averaging 13 and 10 and just being the dominant force that we know he can be. So how do you see Zach Edey going into year two?
I'm gonna go in reverse. So I'm gonna go the leap first. And it's funny you said 15 and 11, because that literally is the number I had written down that I want to see him at next year. If he's 15 and 11 in his second year, which in my opinion is so doable, bro. Like, I it's hard for me to look at what Zach Edey did in his rookie year with all the sabotage that we talked about, and not think that he can get 15 and 12, really. But I'm gonna say 15 and 11. He should easily average that. You talk about, coming back this year he's going to be a focus in that offense. In what manner, I don't know. We'll have to see the way that, especially with Coach Isolo, having to implement him after an injury. We're not 100% sure how long it may take, but surely he's already working with him, watching film, setting expectations, things like that, the ways he wants to use him. I think that's easy, bro. I really do. You're talking about a team that's about to be, in my opinion, running even more controlled, but I feel like they're going to be running a little bit more this year because you got more defense or defensive wings, I should say, than what you've had in the last couple of years. You got, we've already talked about, that second unit, Scottie Pippen, Ty Jerome. Hopefully he gets a run with them guys as well. But he runs the floor really, really well. And so you guys that push the and score transition, they're going to be played a certain way by the defense. It's going to only open up things for Zach Edey. We also know he's great at putbacks, tip dunks, things like that. Being just a presence and force there to catch alley-oops, it's going to be very easy for him, in my opinion, to get 15 and 11. And so I think if he's able to do that just from a number standpoint, that's a great lead for this team. We talked about, I want to say, was it last week, bro? When we was talking about who's the third player on this team? I think it was last week, wasn't it? And we couldn't figure that out.
Yeah, it was last week.
I think if you want to go even further, what's a super leap look like for Zach Edey is that he solidifies himself as the third guy. I think he has all the potential in the world to do that. We're talking about a guy that won Player of the Year in college twice, 2 times in a row, I believe, actually. And although, like you said last year, we joked on him all the time on this show about just literally losing his catching powers. But if he can just literally, his hands ain't hurting while he's recovering from injury. I hope he's literally just laying on his back right now, in his bed, throwing up a basketball and just catching it. Like, I hope he's working on that this summer because it was a lot of points or potential points that he missed out on last season just because he was fumbling the damn basketball. You know what I'm saying? So not even talking about some of those where, like you said, he didn't fully jump and use his size every time. But just in that manner, bro, like, I think that's going to be really easy for him. Also, and I guess this is probably a team-wide thing, not just Zach Edey's, but I'm going to talk about him specifically. One thing that I never liked about Taylor Jenkins is that he took a player that was great at one thing, maybe even 2 things, and he tried to bring in all these guys to, and maybe it wasn't him, but I'm going to attribute it to him because it was his system. I felt like he always tried to make guys be great all-around basketball players versus just putting gas on the fire or the things that these guys were great at. And so, you look at Zach Edey last year where we go into training camp and everybody talking about well, I didn't know he could shoot threes. Well, if you watch his combine film, you saw that he was out there busting threes from deep. But that's not his game. Like, why are we not maximizing Zach Edey's game? And that's what I think T.I. is definitely going to be able to do with this guy. And so if that's the case, if we're maximizing setting screens, lobs at the rim, getting him better post positioning to where when he gets the ball, he's much in the post he has been where he's starting out, damn near in the mid-range, trying to bag dudes down, kicking it back out, trying to repost. Hell no. Like, I want I want his game to be more simplified, but more showcased at the same time, if that makes sense. The things that he's really, really good at, that he's an expert at almost. And not so much focused on that 3-point shit and all the other stuff that Jenkins was trying to get him to do. I do want to see him focus on trying to be a little bit better in the post as far as passing or just passing, period. Because I think if you taking the 3-point shooting out of his game, I think if he's able to implement more passing into his game with a Ja and a Jaren, you got something really cooking at that point. Because you're talking about at that point, we always talked about last year, which we didn't see it as much, but a 2-man game, not only with Ja and Jaren, but Jaren and Edey. Like, that would be an elite pairing in the pick and roll. And so him being able to, at times, if he's working with Jaren to pick and roll, Jaren pops it back to him, and he's able to catch Ja on a back screen cut or some crazy lob or, whatever the case may be, while you got Jalen Wells and KCP running around trying to catch threes. Like, I think that definitely elevates this offense, this team. And to a point where, like I said, we talked about it last week. It's kind of hard to find. Maybe not who's your third star, but just who's your third guy in the pecking order. I think if he's able to cash in and, like I said, just highlight and improve upon the things he's already great at, focus on that, put gas on that fire, add some passing to his game, work on his hands, get them back to like they were in college. If that's all that he does, I think this team is definitely taken to another level with ease. And now you're talking about Cedric Coward, the G.G. Jacksons, the other guys, young guys that are coming up behind. If they hit the way that we're talking about them hitting, that we're hoping that they hit, shit. You look up a couple years, and I ain't worried about, too many other teams in the West if they doing what they got to do. So that's what I'm looking at for him. Very simple things, nothing too crazy. I'm not expecting him to come out dribbling. I hope he's not doing that. Don't want to see no mid-range shooting. Expand your game after you've perfected what you're great at first. And I think we'll be a much better basketball team for it. What you say, bro?
No, I was just laughing at you saying it's probably glitching on my end, but I was just laughing at you said that he's hope he's not dribbling. So God hoping, I hope he ain't dribbling. But yeah, man, I agree pretty much all your points, man. I still think 15-11 is like a little because like 15-11, you're damn near a max player in the modern day NBA averaging 15-11, being that most bigs ain't offering. But
give him 25.
I don't think he can do it.
What'd you say he averaged last year?
If Zach doing 9.3 and 8 rebounds a game.
And that's with a sabotage? Man, I don't know.
That's with
bro.
a sabotage. Ain't missing a lot. Ain't missing it. That's a big jump. A 6-point jump, that's kind of a lot in a single year. That's what I'm not saying it's impossible. If he did, it would have surprised me, no, because I think that he's that good. But I think 13-11 is a little more realistic, especially coming in. He's not becoming starting game one, so he's gonna need some time to ramp up.
Take some time,
obviously, it takes some time and just to get. And it was kind of. We gonna point on this and we can get out of here. I want to see more of a synergy with Edey on the court because it seemed like sometimes last year, if you can correct me wrong, it was sometimes he kind of like stuck out like a sore thumb because either they were trying to force feed him the ball or they wasn't giving him the ball enough where he was like rim running, defending. They was not feeding him. Like it didn't seem like there was no like real synergy. Like he didn't completely fit in the offense the way he should have. Like, and of course, like we said, that's a Jenkins issue. So, but it's also like a team issue for not getting that man the ball. Like it was times where they were either force feeding him or they needs to be a smooth transition. Edey coming back, he's a vocal point in his option. If you say the third guy, he needs to be the third option on the floor. If that's what you say. If he's the fourth option, he needs to be the fourth option. Like it shouldn't be some games where he putting up damn near 25 and 12. Then next game he putting up 8 and 6. You feel me? And this is different. We talking about a guy that was in foul trouble. Like Zach Edey does not get in foul trouble for as big as he is. Yeah, for as big as he is, he does not get foul trouble like that, which is a good skill on his part. He does not foul like that. So I just want to see some synergy, man. And we get some synergy. I feel like the leap will be there, but I feel like it starts with that. And I feel like a lot of that will be solved under Coach Tomas Isolo, but we have to wait to be seen. But I just want to throw that in there as well.
Most definitely, bro. I'm with you. Like it's got to be more than just Ja trying to get him the ball and involved. And I think that's everybody. I think this coaching staff. Shout out to the guy, I can't remember his name, but the big man coach they got from New Orleans. I think he's gonna do a great job with Jaren and Edey collectively, getting those guys involved in the game a lot more, man. So I'm excited. I'm excited for year 2, Edey. Even though we don't know exactly when he's gonna be playing, but it's a big year for him and his team. You notice I didn't really talk about a flop because for me, if he's injured, I can't really count that a flop because that ain't his fault. Hopefully this surgery got him right. But a guy with his mentality, his skill set, and his size, I just don't see that happening. I don't see a flop. If I had to put it out there, I guess I would say like what you said, he regrets from last year. It's just hard for me to see that even happen with all that's going on. We're going to be looking at him to do a lot this year. So I'm excited, bro. Excited for year 2, Edey. Excited for all the other young guys coming into their year 2s and 3s and all that good stuff. So that's pretty much all we got on that. My guy, do you have a FanDuel bet for the people? I got mine ready. Do you got yours?
Yes. Yes. I do have my ready. We can get it done out here. The Las Vegas Aces, they play the Chicago Sky today. And I feel like the easiest bet, if y'all want to make some easy money, the line for Asia Wilson, who, like I said, who I feel like will be the GOAT when it's all said and done, is 25.5. Her over under for points. And being that Chicago is very bad basketball team, I'm taking the over. I think 25, and she's more like for the last, she's averaged 4 to 5 games. She's put up over 30 in 4 of the last 5 games. And Chicago doesn't really have a real great matchup for her. So yeah, I'm taking the over on that. It's a plus 102. So I'm taking the over. I think you'll get some good money on that.
Man, I'm finna get y'all rich. I'm finna get y'all rich. Listen to me. Look me in my eyes. Look at me through my 4 eyes that y'all see on this screen. If you want to make some money, if you want to double your money easily, I'm talking about put in, man, bet the house on it. This is how confident I am in this bet. It's going to sound biased, but I don't give a damn. The NFL week 1 is up 2 weeks from now. Granted, it's a little bit of a future because it's not any game this week. But on September 7th, go ahead and lock this bet in now because it's low. And that line is probably going to go up or the money's going to drop. The Denver Broncos play the Tennessee Titans at home. As y'all know, I'm a Broncos fan first. Tennessee is home team, so I root for the Titans when they ain't playing the Broncos. The line for the spread is at 7.5 right now at -1.8. I promise you that my Denver Broncos gonna beat the dog shit out the Tennessee Titans. Much more than they points in that game. I guarantee it. This is the easiest money I think I done seen on a bet in a long time.
Guarantee.
Yeah. So play with it if you want to. I'm taking that bet. I'm putting every kind of boost that I can on that bet. I'm gonna eat a great steak dinner and probably pay off my kids' Disney trip off that bet. That's how confident I am in that bet. Knock on wood, because if something happens to my quarterback, I'm gonna cry. But other than that, run it, bro. We finna be dog shit at the Tennessee Titans. This finna be ugly week 1. In Mile High, it's over with.
It's gonna be funny.
It's over with. But yeah, man.
Cam on that after and go not be able to take that thin air rain in high with the stadium rocking.
Man.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, Cam. It's not a good recipe for success.
But he finna get his ass toe up week 1, boy. We finna welcome him to the league. What? Oh my God, bro. Man, look. Yeah, y'all let me know. I put it like this. You lose that bet, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna stop potting. This show will be the Evan Hayes show on Monday. It will not be no bluffing no more. I am giving it to my guy. If that bet don't hit, I'm out. Cause y'all gonna be looking for me anyway, because you done bet your house on the bet. So I'm gonna be gone in hiding, witness protection. You won't be able to find my ass.
Let's not put that out there. Let's not do that now. Let's not go that far. Load up now, because Cam gonna put a 450 on your head and they can be looking stupid. Let's not do that. You know, he messed around, do three touchdowns, 450 yards in his first game.
Now
you're gonna be looking kind of crazy, and then be like, what you going now? So, you know,
bro,
a little bit. You know, I still need you, dog. You know,
I think we had
I'll take
3 defense last year.
I'll probably do that.
And our defense got better. Man, we're gonna do them so bad. Lock it in. All right, man. Well, it's the part of the show. Our computers are glitching like hell, so it's time for us to go ahead and do our thing. We're gonna skedaddle. It's been a good one. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Like I said, live on this Sunday night. We went into midnight at this point. YouTubers, appreciate y'all tapping on Monday. Y'all this live, quote unquote, on Monday. Y'all let us know in the comments your thoughts on everything we covered today. We will be back next week. But this week, make sure y'all do something that makes you happy, to put a smile on your face. Because that's what matters the most, man. That's what all that matters. Everything going on in the world, we got to make sure we're protecting our peace and protecting everything that we can control, man. So we'll catch y'all next week. Like we always say, go Grizz.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the No Bluffing Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of all things Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.